So guys, good. We're gonna quickly dissect this video clip in Jack Reacher between Tom Cruise and this other girl. He totally dominated this thing. He controlled the frame so well. I know it's scripted, so kudos to the director. We're gonna talk about how the interaction so successful and what can we learn from this dude. All right, so let's check it out. Now here, Tom Cruise is contemplating about a recent incident, and then this girl just came up out of nowhere to approach him. Just like how you would approach a girl. Let's see what happens.
Mind if I share your table?
The look is genuine. She's happy to see him. He gives a nod. Most guys would just be so delirious and happy that a woman finally came up and approached him, right? But no, he's an alpha dude. This happens all the time. He gives a nod.
I'm Sandy.
So was I, last week, on a beach in Florida.
She introduces herself. He used a typical NLP protocol. That's what we call misinterpretation. He said, yo, I'm Sandy as well. So he's throwing that confusion in there. She's a little bit befuddled, and then he explains on the beach that there is some human there. So that's definitely a good trait to have. Let's see.
What's your name?
What's your name? His expression doesn't give away anything, but he knows what's happening now, that she may be interested because a woman doesn't lean forward and with a genuine big smile on her face and asking your name. If a woman asks for your name in a friendly, polite way, typically, she's interested. And let's see what happens.
Jimmy Reese.
You don't look like a Jimmy.
This is what we call a shit test, okay? And in the community, people will say, hey, you know, maybe he is giving her a false name. And sometimes we do that with myself. I'll say, you know, my name is Mickey Mouse or some fictitious character, and just to see if they're listening. But in this instant, she should test them straight away and say, you know, what is your name? Is that your real name?
What do I look like?
I don't know, but not a Jimmy.
So she tests him, but his frame is so strong, he threw it right back at her. He says, what do I look like? So he's asking her for investment, asking her for to put in more work and to come back with something better. So then basically she's asking her to explain herself, which is a very dominant trait. Remember this.
So you're new in town?
Usually.
So the questions keeps coming. So you're new in town, and see what happens next.
Usually.
It's kind of loud in here.
His answers so far have been short and direct, with an infusion of dark humor, which is what an alpha male usually do when they have that carefree, nonchalant vibe that really attracts people. Now, she is suggesting that it is loud in there. Maybe they should go out. Now, on what pretense, on what context, we don't know.
Do you want to maybe go someplace quieter? I have a car.
You're old enough to drive?
I'm old enough to do a lot of things.
All right, so he continuously asking her to validate herself to him. He continuously get her to explain herself, to justify why she's asking him these questions, why she's been there. This requires a lot of investment from the female's part, and that usually generates more and more attraction. I know this is out of context, but had this been a genuine approach in a bar, this is how it's going to be translated.
I'm on a budget, Sandy.
What?
I can't afford you.
This is hilarious, right? Because you see, the implication here is that women don't usually approach guys, especially when there are a visible age gap. So what happens here is that he insinuates she is a working class girl, and she's obviously offended because she's not. But here she, let's see what happens here.
I'm not a hooker.
Oh, then I really can't afford you.
Seriously.
She said, I'm not a hooker, and then Tom Cruise says, then I can really afford you. I can't really afford you, my man. So what does that tell you there? There's a ton of implications there. She may be too young, full of trouble. She may be melodramatic. Maybe she's going to give him problems. And you can tell that Tom Cruise or Jack has had young girls approach him this way many times previously. And he's giving off the vibe that this happens all the time, and this can be very attractive to the opposite sex when you just really don't give a damn about what you're saying and whether the outcome is beneficial or not.
I work at the auto parts store.
What I mean is the cheapest woman tends to be the one you pay for.
I am not a hooker.
Okay, now she's really pissed off, right? She's irate because she's not getting what she wants. And how many times have you seen this from a man's perspective? When a guy doesn't get what he wants, he goes into full assault mode. And it's not an attractive sight to be seen. So guys, please avoid this. All right, control your emotions, and yeah.
Well, I could get the joke. What's this?
He called me a whore.
Is that true?
Now, I don't know who that guy is, but he came in kind of like a bodyguard type of dude. Very protective. Maybe it's her pimp, maybe it's her brother, and let's see what happens next.
Nobody said whore. She inferred hooker. I meant slut. Hey.
That's a beautiful line. Nobody said she was a hooker. I inferred slut. It basically means the same thing. It's one is more derogatory than the other, right? So right here, what happens is what we call AMOG, okay, alpha male of the group, and that terminology describes the situation. And there's even more AMOG of what's going to happen next. Let's watch this.
That's our sister. She a good kisser? Hey.
You see the look on that guy's face. See it again.
That's our sister. She a good kisser? Hey.
You see that? So Tom Cruise A-mocked him. He said, is she a good kisser? So he's referring to, you say this girl is your sister, but is that true? So Tom Cruise is actually giving him a shit test. Like, is she actually your sister, or do you guys all make out with each other? Is that kind of relationship happening? Like, what exactly is happening here? And
outside.
Pay your check first.
I'll pay later.
You won't be able to.
You think?
during this whole interaction, Tom Cruise stays seated. He's not complying. He's not conforming to what other people would think it's rude or curt to do. When people stand up, you stood up as well. When people sit down, you stay seated. He's very in his own world, and he's very domineering. So here's a great lesson to be had. Control your frame, brothers. Let's keep watching a little bit more because I love it.
You think?
All the time. You should try.
It's a great joke, but I'm gonna beat your ass. Do you want to do that here or outside?
Outside.
Stay here, Sandy.
I don't mind the sight of blood.
So even here, she continuously to show interest. For some reason, even though this is out of context, she continues to show interest. Now, if this was reversed between a man and a woman, so if Tom Cruise was the girl and the man keeps showing her interest, even though she rejected him plenty of times, plenty of indications of no interest, it just comes off as needy and creepy and really not necessary, guys. And see how he responds.
But it means you're not pregnant anyway.
He's so sharp. Look at her face. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna keep it rolling for a little bit longer because this part is.
You still think you're funny now, creep?
Shut your mouth, Sandy. No one is talking to you.
So she's the lowest rank of the group because see what happens. She was just a bait.
It's your last chance to walk away.
Last chance, buddy.
Are you kidding? It's 5 against 1.
It's 3 against 1.
How do you figure?
Once I take out the leader, which is you, I'll have to contend with 1 or 2 enthusiastic wingmen. The last 2 guys, they always run.
Oh, you done this before?
Have you done this before? So what Tom Cruise is using is what we call an experience frame. So he's quite obviously done this plenty of times, and he just reciting what usually happens, and you know, this guy won't budge, won't listen. Look, dude, you got your last chance to get out of this unscathed, but
It's getting late.
let's go, buddy.
Remember, you wanted this.
Remember, you wanted this. Oh my God, this is so gangster. Look at his face. Boom! And then kicking the bows right here. Oh! Yeah. Okay, Sandy. Here you go. Look what you've caused. There you guys. I enjoyed commenting on this video. If you want to see more of this kind of content, comment down below. And I really appreciate your support, your viewership. This is just a very small channel, and we do this to help people. The more people we can serve, the better. Because as men, we united, and it's good to look out for one another, our brothers. We're all the same. We're all together. All right. Thank you for watching. And remember, stop being invisible and start becoming invincible. Yeah. Alpha Attraction. We out. Peace.